It's here. I got it. I am so excited. Let's get it open. Okay, I can't get the camera quite low enough. But we'll get it open. Hopefully I am strong enough to pull this out because it weighs 41 pounds. And how did I get this to me when I'm on the road? I am at my daughter's house in Tennessee. So, okay, here's all the cords. Plus I had one shipped to me separately, and I got that yesterday. I got the instructions. This is well packed, which I would expect. I paid $550 some for it. Oh my goodness. So big old styrofoam. And then it's in this silky plastic bag. Oh my gosh. Ooh. It's got all that silicone stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh. And that silicone and styrofoam. Toss that out. Oh my goodness. That is heavy. Now let's explore it. Okay, encasing. That was a pretty quick video. I got myself, this is a 3,300 watt solar generator. It is by Dabbasson, Dabbasson. I took a chance. We will see. It is not a top name brand, but I did so much research and reviews, and we will see if they come through. I will be totally honest. It's not a paid promotion. They don't even know I ordered. They could probably care less I ordered it. I'm just a customer to them. So it is got a lithium battery in it. It is 41 pounds. The sides have nothing. This back is where you plug it in. And of course you can do AC, solar, or charge when you're driving. Caution, charging cable full power must be. Please use the charging cable to fully charge power station before using it. Okay, that makes sense. These handles are nice, but boy, they take up 2 inches of extra room. One thing I did like about my Bluity is the handles were recessed into the top, so it didn't take up any extra space, because when you live in a small space, that is vital. But okay, the front of it is this. I mean, it is sharp looking. It's not cheap plastic. Here is the DC. There is a work light. Well, power on and off is there. Okay, so apparently it's going to have fully charged. It's got 12 volt circular. It doesn't have a C-to-C charger. Darn. I do like my C-to-C charger. I never thought about that. Plug-ins. This work light. Yeah, it's got to be charged. Okay, let's read the instruction. That is really a thick cord. They are not interchangeable with my Bluity, but the solar one is interchangeable with my solar Harbor Freight panel, which is great. Okay, this is at 56 percent charged. And input is 700 watts. Wow. And output. So right over here is my, so that's going to charge fairly fast. And let's see what time it is. It is 1:29 and it's 56%. So it's going to take about 2.5 hours, if I'm figuring that right. I just timed it with this stopwatch. So for every percent, it takes 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So I've got 40, 80, 7, like 80, an hour and a half before it hits full charge. I read through the instructions. It wasn't a whole lot. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. This does have an app so I can watch it on my phone, which I don't know if it's going to be a big deal for me because I'm always around my van. But it will be nice if, I guess, to watch it. Haven't decided. And now if I plug this into a wall outlet in my daughter's house, it would charge it like in 2 hours, from 0 to 100%, because it'd put in 1,500 watts. But I wanted to plug it into the van because that's how I will be charging it. So it'll be right at 700. I want to keep things realistic to my lifestyle. So there's the fan. When it first kicks on, it sounds like sirens in the distance. It may be a little loud for somebody. Charging it with my solar, since I only have 200 watt panel, will take a while. So when I charge with the solar, it'll be when I'm going to sit for the full day. So the main objective for me to get this is to run my fridge. I've been running it off of my Blue Eddy 600 watt. It only runs it for maybe 12 hours. And then I've got to charge that or run my generator, which is a cost. So I did the math on what I spent in January and February for the generator to run my solar, to run my fridge. And this at $550 will, I think it was $506, and I bought the cable and taxes. But I'm just going to say $550. It will pay for itself within 9 months. And I won't have to charge. So on those days that I want to travel and sightsee, my fridge hopefully will go. I'm counting on you, Dabbasson. So here is the on and off button. So it is off. And now it is on. Okay, maybe. Let's see. Maybe get a... off. Okay, off. Maybe it takes a while to power on. There it goes. I just didn't give it enough time. Well, there it goes. So it's at 100%. Nothing coming in. Nothing going out. Which we are going to change that real quick. Let's see what this little red button says down here. Okay, when I went back and read the instructions, so you can see this little light's using 4. It tells you right there. And then I turn on the fan. I was long pressing it, and you just short press it to turn it on and off. So now it's using 8 watts. So it's going to take for freaking ever. I can run those two things for years. Okay, the other thing I use a lot It's plugged into my electricity right now is, hold on again, is my phone. There is no C-to-C charger, which is fine because I've got this little thing I can plug into the AC to convert it to us. And now I've got to, here is the button for AC. Okay, and a whole bunch of stuff just come up. And let's plug the phone in to see what happens. All I gotta do is find the end of the phone cord. Okay. Phone is now plugged in. You can see it's charging, and it's not using any watts, but that blue button on this tells me it's being charged. So that doesn't use any watts. Okay, so those are the three little things that I use. Well, other than the fan, I don't use that every day. But for the big test now, and these I think are for like computers. Maybe that is a C charger, I don't know. Is my refrigerator. For the refrigerator warm up, I took this off of my phone charger, and I did put it in there. They've got an 80 watt and 120 watt, and it is charging my phone. So you can see it went up to 11 with that little light, and then if I turn the fan on, it went up to 13, 14, 15. So right at 16 to run the phone, the fan, and my light. So figure 3,300 watts, 16, it would run it for years. So that is going to be awesome. I don't have to, my phone drains my 600 watt real quick. So it's going to run all of those things indefinitely. So that little light down there says 53 hours. So it would run those three things for 53 hours. So I turned my fridge down to 28 freezer mode. It never showed high output on either one of these. And that should be the AC, and it's on because the fridge is running. And then it took it to, said it would run it for 23 hours. So I turned it back up to the 42 I keep it at because it's colder on the inside than the 42. And it now says it would run it for 76 hours. So that would be what I want, but we'll see once the compressor kicks on. I'm not sure why it's not showing that. So once the compressor kicks on, it'll give us an idea. But it's not going to kick on for an hour or so. Okay, so I got this all set up. Let's go big or go home, because this is why we bought this, right? So right now, I have got my air conditioner running. I have got it set on 62, so I'm froze, because it's not even that warm outside. I got my refrigerator running, and it's set to keep it right at about 34 degrees, and that's set on eco mode. I've got my phone charging. I've got my, well, if I turn my fan on, there, I just turned on my fan, it just jumped it to another 2 or 3 watts. I've got my little light here plugged in. So those are basically what I'm going to be running off of it. Now, I am not going to be running my air conditioner off of that. That's the reason I got the gas generator. So let's shut off that air conditioner. And it says it'll run all of that for 11 hours. So I just shut off the air, and it just took it up to 37. It's using still 98 percent of the battery, and running at 22 hours, which still is not the best. It said it run a full-size fridge for 11 hours. Those use 100 to 150. I use 45 watts per hour, so it should run it for the minimum of 33. Well, see, once that air conditioner, that compressor turned off, it says 71 hours. So the true test is going to be letting it run for 24 hours. And I'm just going to have my light, my phone, my fan won't, because the fan doesn't take that much in my fridge. And we'll see how many days it can support my phone, my light, and my fridge. Okay, so it is just about 10 o'clock the next morning. I just posted that picture so you could see the app. You can't do it from your phone to get to the app. You have to download everything from, like I did from my daughter's house, just connected to her Wi-Fi, and I was able to download it. I don't get that, but I'm not technical. So it shows I have 13 hours left. So I'm not real impressed with the longevity. I was hoping to get 2 or 3 days out of it. I'm going to get like 36 hours, and that's what they said would run a typical refrigerator. So I am just kind of working through the kinks. I am going to charge it back to 100%. And it does have the pass-through, which I think all of them does. That means I can charge and use it, which is a good thing to have. I've always had that with even my Bluity. And then I'm going to retest it, but I'm going to not use the lights. But I think I'm going to plug my fridge in. I've got a DC plug-in, and see if I get more consistency and longer hours, because DC does not take as much power as AC. So I've got the plug laying right there. All I got to do is hook it into the fridge and put it into that cigarette lighter on my Dabbasson. Okay, just an update. Here's my big fan. I don't normally use it because it took too many watts with my Bluity. So I plugged it into my Dabbasson, turned on the AC because that's how it runs. It's on medium, and it's blowing out a lot of cool air, but it's showing it's not using any wattage. So I'm hoping that this will be a good way to keep the van cool and not use a lot of wattage. I'm real excited to see how it is in the morning. Well, I'm glad I was able to do that final test on the fan. So it ran for 8 hours, just right close to 8 hours. And it used 21% just from the fan, because the Dabbasson fan kept going off. The other day, just for shits and giggles, I had nothing plugged into the AC, and I turned it on, use 3 watts with nothing plugged in. So the Dabbasson, yeah, it's good. It's working for me. For the price, it was good if I use DC. It is not a good AC because that fan runs continuously and just drains the battery too quick. So would I refer the Dabbasson? If you're only going to use it for DC, yes. For AC, not so much. But the price point versus other price points, it worked for me for the time. Hopefully that answers some of your questions. Please leave any questions or comments in for me. I will try to respond. In the meantime, travel, explore, keep God in your heart.